Okay, let me think about my answer. For me, one of the things that was the most critical in that season, when I say I left public ministry, I never disconnected from my church. I never disconnected from my leadership. I remember there was one time I was talking to someone not in my congregation, not in my church circle, and they used the comment, and again, this is years ago, but they used the comment punishment. They used the word punishment, like I was punished for, like you've been involved in some compromise, you've not done things well, and then when you told your pastors, then you were punished and you were not allowed to lead worship and you weren't allowed to, lead a small group, which all of that's true. I didn't lead worship. I didn't lead a small group. I was taken out of every place of leadership, but the term they used was punishment. And I remember thinking the exact opposite of that is true. I don't see it as punishment. I see it as grace. I see it as wisdom. And here's why I say that. What I think about is if you're a coach of a football team, if you have a player on your team come and tell you, hey coach, I've got a real bad headache. As a coach, you might be like, all right, man, here's some Maramojas, but you can work through this. You can still perform and play even with that in mind. But if your player was to come to you and say, coach, I've broken my leg, a good coach will bench his guy because he's broken. And it's not out of, I'm punishing you for your broken leg. It's out of, I see that if this heals well, you still have 20, 30 years to play. But if this heals badly, you'll never play again. And it's love.
If you keep playing with this, it's over.
You might even die. You might lose everything. And so it's a good coach. It's a wise coach that says, I hear you're broken. I see you're broken. And out of love, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bench you not just until you come and tell me that you feel better. I'm going to bench you until your physical therapist says, I've tested this healing. I've put weight on this healing. You've gone through exercise after exercise, and you don't start you start with little things. Take a few steps. Okay, now run. Okay, now jog a mile. Now jog 5. Okay, now go for a few practices. Okay, go for a few more. It's not just I'm benched and then, hey, I'm healed. And all right, let's go back. There's a process now. And the process is to test that the healing has taken. It's true, it's good, it's strong, and you're ready. And that's what I feel happened for me. I feel like at that time, I had the most incredible coaches over my life who said, we see you're broken, we grieve for you, we are sad for you, but out of love, we are benching you, not to punish you. We're benching you so you can heal, because we see 20, 30 years down the line, you have so much potential. But if you abandon this process, if you say, it's taken too long, it's yourself that you're hurting ultimately. And I always saw it that way. And so I was so grateful for that season, that I was allowed to stay connected. I stayed on staff, even though my job took on an extremely different role. I didn't lead worship. In fact, the team that I was leading, now they led me in worship. Now I just go to church on Sunday, and the guys, I was their leader. Now they led me, and I was so grateful for them. I was so grateful for that season where I was allowed to just get counseling. And more than anything, prove faithfulness. Just get back to the day in, day out, living according to the standards of God's word. And I think a lot of times, Richie, what happens is people want the platform without the responsibility. Are those birds so loud? You're not?
No, they're good. They're good.
I think people want the platform a lot of times without the responsibility. And